sat in the carts. And this is Heat 9. We're well on our way towards the end of the first round of heats. And we'll be running through the order in this race in just a second. So let's look. It was Wojciech Jobu won, Sune second, and then Sturm in third. Now up in this next heat, well, who have we got? Oh my goodness. It's going to be another sort of fighting race, this one. We've got Dan Chambers. Dan Chambers from Cambridge. He's another one racing for the presentation team. So the one who's bringing you the footage here, Scruffy Bear. The Scruffy Bear team, Dan Chambers, is racing for this team here. So, well, he's one of our boys, you could say. Greg Laporte, former world champion from Brussels in Belgium. He was world champion just over 10 years ago now, and he's part of the fabled Blue Star team, of course, and in fact, one of the organisers of the Kart World Championship. So, Greg Laporte, Matej Vrana, my goodness, one of the Kart Planet drivers, another Czech driver from Prague. He was the National Cup champion for the Saudi World Series in 2017. So, you know, top driver from Czech Republic there, Matej Vrana. We've seen him before here. Ben Churchill, he was 52nd in the championship last year, and obviously British driver, the Giant Killers team. Robin Kassam was a 2014 semi-finalist. So it's getting a little bit of a while ago now, 5 years ago now that Robin Kassam was last in a semi-final here, but, well, he's been here ever since he could make it. Conor Marsh, well, he's been here all the time that there's been a champion. A Daytona 24-hour winner, 2 years running, 2017 and 2018. My goodness me. That is a strong performance there. It's a very physical track they have. This Daytona 24-hour takes place on the other side of town here at Milton Keynes, the Formula Fast. And he was actually fourth once in the BRKC in 2013. That was under a multi-venue event. That's Conor Marsh. Matt Parker, Ciaran Gallagher. He, you know, in the British University Championship, it was a fairly tough one. In the Rookie Championship, he was a fifth last year, so we'll see whether he can throw himself forward in this one. Phil Pryor, he's returning. He's another one of the Scruffy Bear, the media team crew ones, and he was 89th last year, so we'll see what he can do. Darren Pearce, 3 years ago now, was 42nd in the championship. He's with the Giant Killers team, so and that's also with Ben Churchill, who's also in this race. So they're concluding their warm-up lap now. In fact, they're concluding their qualifier. First one through. Let's have a look. It's Ciaran Gallagher provisionally on pole. Phil Pryor's taking it now. Phil Pryor, he's been pipped by Churchill. Ben Churchill is provisionally on pole position. Conor Marsh goes to the top step. And Darren Pearce in third. Can Conor Marsh be knocked off that? We're looking really at Laporte and Vrana. No, it's still Conor Marsh. Incredibly, Conor Marsh hangs on in there. Matej Vrana, Greg Laporte, and Conor Marsh takes the pole position. Unbelievable. So, well, Conor Marsh will be very pleased with that. So will the entire Marsh clan up on the balcony there. They're watching the races here. You can't see them on screen, but you can bet your life they'll have been pretty pleased to see that one. So let's just run through these qualifiers. 1 second separate, just 1.1 first to 10th. Conor Marsh, as we've said, stuck it on the pole position, 32.1. Actually, I'd go so far as to say that looks like the fastest pole position time we've had so far of the weekend. Matej Vrana, he's up in second. I was thinking he might have been on pole, but no, he's in second place. Robin Kassam, incredibly, into third place. I'm genuinely slightly surprised to see that. Robin Kassam up in third place. Ben Churchill fourth. Greg Laporte, the former world champion. Well, he claims he's coming out of retirement for this race, but I wasn't sure he'd actually been away, to be fair. But he is lining up in fifth place now. If ever there was a racing brain in this heat race here, it's on the shoulders of Greg Laporte. Greg Laporte, as I say, he is a former world champion, and he's been one of the best in the business for more than a decade now. So that fifth place could well translate itself to something a little bit nearer the top step. Certainly, you know, Conor Marsh, Matej Vrana, Ben Churchill, and Robin Kassam have got a lot of work on with Laporte in fifth. Darren Pearce in 6th, Parker 7th, Pryor 8th, Gallagher 9th, and bringing up the rear, it's Dan Chambers. But look at this. Conor Marsh leads the way. He's in the lead of a BRKC race. Conor Marsh leads the way. Matej Vrana, though, is very racy indeed. And he's not having a look in the snail section. It's still Conor Marsh. Conor Marsh leads out the snail section. He just needs to have his foot down. It's an awful long time of full power here now as they head round that fast section there onto the backstretch. It's definitely Conor Marsh. There he is on picture in the lead. There's Matej Vrana second. There's Kassam in third. And it looks already as though there's a gap lead building up to third place. So Conor Marsh is doing everything he can. He brings them round in the lead. And here we go. Conor Marsh leads the way. He crosses the line in first place. So Conor Marsh now leads a British Rental Car Championship race. He's surely got his mind set on winning this one now. Look at him go. However, it's the Czech Republic driver, Matej Vrana. Matej Vrana, Czech champion in that Saudi World Series thing in 2017 in the Czech Republic. He is the champion there, or was the champion there. So he is very, very good indeed. There's Matej Vrana in second, all in red. Third, though, Robin Kassam, then Churchill, then Gregory Laporte. There's a bit of a change of position down the tail there, a bit like Ciaran Gallagher, I believe. We'll check on the actual positions we go through. So it's still Conor Marsh, 2 laps into the record books now, and Conor Marsh leads. Matej Vrana second, but Matej Vrana is almost a second back. Conor Marsh is really flying here. He's the fastest on the track. He's on 32.0 already. I don't know what Conor Marsh ate for breakfast in the morning, but he needs to eat it again because this is the kind of performance we haven't really seen from him for a while. It has to be said. This is absolutely ballistic by Conor Marsh as he really races through to complete another lap in the lead. This is not them falling away. This is Conor Marsh pulling away in the lead. He's got Matej Vrana in pursuit, but Vrana's pulling away. It's over a second already. They're only, 4 laps into the race, and Vrana is already a second down. When he's saying Matej Vrana is a second down on the lead after 4 laps, that's really saying something. Conor Marsh leads the way. So that's third place. There's fourth, and there's Greg Laporte in fifth now. Ben Churchill's coming under massive pressure now from Laporte there. And in fact, Laporte, he took the normal line. Churchill had to go to the inside defend. That's cost him time. They are side by side through on, and Laporte! Oh my goodness, bit of contact down the bottom here. That might have been on Darren Pearce, to be fair. I think he lunged Laporte, and Laporte got him back. So we'll see how that works out. Yes, I think that's exactly what happened there. So some serious, robust driving going down in the big pack. Meantime, 4 laps with almost a 2-second lead. It's up to 1.7 seconds now. It's Conor Marsh. What a lead. Conor Marsh comes through. He's on his 5th lap with 1.2 in front. Matej Vrana is doing everything he can because he is pulling up over a second on Robin Kassam, who is over a second on Ben Churchill. So absolute flying performance. Oh, in the pits, it's Darren Pearce, sorry. There's Darren Pearce. He was 42nd a couple of years ago. And, he's making an early pit stop. And I think he feels like he's best served by running alone. So he needs to set some fast laps out of his pit. Okay, the car we're looking at there, the 16, well, that's Robin Kassam. He's in 3rd place, and he's just falling away from Vrana, who's falling away from the flying Conor Marsh. 6 laps in, and Conor Marsh has pulled 2-second gap over, of all people, Matej Vrana. One of the highly rated drivers from Eastern Europe there, Matej Vrana, and he has absolutely no answer at the moment to the flying Conor Marsh. In the pits, though, is the 20, that's Ciaran Gallagher. Ciaran Gallagher. I mean, he's been in, twice, 66 in the championship. And so Ciaran Gallagher, he's running last at the moment. He's going to be looking to move up and get some more points. But look at that kart there. That's Conor Marsh. Even though he tends to do his racing mostly in the UK, he has adopted that European stance, learnt well, and just allowing the kart to do even more of the work. That leaning out allows the kart to sort of gently rotate a little bit through the turns. That means less steering. Less steering means less tyre scrub, and that makes the kart faster, especially on a relatively low power kart like a rental kart. You start losing time. You can't power your way out of the problem. And Conor Marsh is a serious bit of, effort-saving performance here. This looks very much like a sort of Ruben Boutin style of just checking out in the distance. Very little effort going in to the driving indeed. And already he's 3 seconds lead, not even 10 laps in. Surely this is going to be Conor Marsh's day of days. This is a race of races. I'm not even sure. I don't even think he's ever won a BRKC race. I'm sure I'll be corrected by the Marsh crew out on the balcony there, but, well, they're probably getting pretty short fingernailed now. But there's Matej Vrana. He's 2nd. Again, another one who is one of the best in the world. Matej Vrana, very highly rated indeed. One of the more sort of aggressive drivers. We know that when it comes to a sort of real mid-pack dust-up, Vrana's a good bet to come out ahead of that. At the moment he's running on his own, though, all he's doing is trying to not lose time to the flying Conor Marsh. Robin Kassam is dropping away, but that's not good enough for Vrana. He's going to want to be very, very secure in that second. If he's not going to win the race, needless to say, the next best thing is second, and that'll be what Vrana absolutely wants to secure. The last thing he needs is a fight for second. So, Greg Laporte continues to run in 5th place. We got Ben Churchill ahead of him in 4th and Kassam in 3rd, of course. We've seen pit stoppers sort of a bit further down the order, Darren, Pearce and Ciaran Gallagher. They are some way off the back as a result of that. And then you've got that slightly tighter contest of Parker, Pryor and Chambers. I believe that's what might be looking at down there. Yeah, that's definitely Parker. He's trying to fend off Pryor. And there's Chambers with a bit of a watch and brief, or a bit of a wave there from Parker. Don't hit me, he said. But now they're closing in because that bump there at the end, Chambers is right with them. So we got a 6th, 7th and 8th place battle there. Parker versus Pryor versus Chambers. That's it in the Snell section there. That's what we're looking at. They're going to be coming out of that. Now, will the gap spread out? But yes, it does a little bit as they come out there. So the best exit to the Snell section was by Parker, and that's vital. That allows him to not have to get defensive, because even though you saw the mid-cart there, the middle cart there move out, it wasn't to attack the lead cart. It was to defend against the third of those carts there. Oh, he's in the pits. That's Pryor. That's Phil Pryor. He's one of the Scruffy Bear racers. He's racing for the presentation team here, the ones bringing you this live stream footage now. He's part of the team. There he goes. Now, what's Phil's lap time going to be like? We know, oh yes, well, it's about 11-second lap, 11 and a bit, so it's not bad. It's not bad. Now, that's what he needs. So we've got Parker coming down now to the end of that. Now, this is going to be interesting. Can Darren Chambers actually close in on Parker? He's had Pryor remove himself from that midpoint there, so if he can close in, yeah, this is battling over 6, but from their point of view, it's still very important. Meantime, at the front, it's Conor Marsh, and guess what? We've got, 13 laps in, 5-second lead. Conor Marsh is driving at such a rate that if he leaves his pit stop nice and late, he may well be able to come into the pits without ever losing the lead. That'll be the first time this year that's happened. So I know we're in the first set heats, but no one's done that yet, despite the fact we've had world champions out and all sorts. It's Conor Marsh who may be the first one to be able to come into the pits out the lead and go back out without losing the lead. An amazing showing by him. Matej Vrana, oh, it looks like a bit of a collision back there. We'll just have a little double check, see who it is. I think it was it? Yes, it was indeed Chambers and Parker. They sort of bundle themselves into opposite positions, but while they're continuing on a pace, as Chambers there, that is 17, and he's moved ahead. Let's sort of get a bit of a recap as across the line. Yeah, in fact, it's Chambers. Sorry, it was Chambers who managed to make the move on Parker. Kassam now has dropped down to 7th place. Still looking up at the top though. It's very much Conor Marsh with now nearly a 6-second lead over Matej Vrana. Conor Marsh's pace is such that Greg Laporte, who is now up to 4th place, former world champion Greg Laporte up to 4th, is actually so far back that Conor Marsh can now stay ahead of him when he pits. Now, in the pits, we must have someone. Who is this? It's Ben Churchill. Ben Churchill is pitted. That allows Greg Laporte to move up another place into 3rd. Ben Churchill resumes in 7th by the looks of it. So, Conor Marsh still leads, no pit stops. So I think we got, I thought we had someone pit stopping. I thought that was Conor Marsh coming in and out of the lead. But I think he's going to leave it late now. There's about nearly 11 minutes still to go. We're looking at Matt Parker there in 5th, and Parker in 5th there. I don't know too much about this particular driver, but he's running well in 5th place at the moment. Chasing down Chambers there, who's actually trying to close in on Laporte. 5 seconds to make up there. Laporte, of course, about 6 or so seconds off Vrana, and Conor Marsh is comfortably able to pit and come out 3rd. He's getting close to a point where he's going to be able to pit and come out into the lead, you know, or actually comfortable to pit and come out 2nd by the looks of this time. 7.3 seconds. Conor Marsh I don't know where he's found it. He's good, but we've not seen this sort of performance. This is, as I say, this is a Ruben Boutin style sort of performance here. We'd expect that from the reigning world champion, but we might not necessarily expect that from Conor Marsh. But he's showing us we ought to expect it now in the future. He's really throwing down his own gauntlet into the ring, saying that, you know, everyone's talking about Lewis Manley, everyone's talking about Ed White and Sam Slater and Johnny Elliott, but I want them talking about me as well now. He's going to be putting himself into the mix as a winner of a championship race this year. There's Conor Marsh. Look at him go down that backstretch there. He really is visibly fast. Quite a sharp pitch in there at the end. Some of the others are sort of more leaning into the corner, but quite a genuine karting flick there by Conor Marsh. Normally someone would do that to again break the grip of the rear axle, which is interesting because he's already using the European lean out style to break the grip of the rear axle there. So quite a very, very sharp turn in there at the end of the straight by Conor Marsh. We're going to see him do that again here because he's on that fast corner. Now just have a look and see how sort of much of a pitch there is into the corner there. Yeah, see that pitch there? He's sort of locking up the brakes as he enters the turn to really throw it in. That allows quite a late turn in, which means he doesn't run so wide coming out of the corner, and for him that's probably adding speed. Now, when someone does that, and the European lean out, there's going to be very little grip on that rear at all. So that back end will be coming round pretty darn sharp there. So Conor Marsh would then not want to end up with an oversteer situation where the cart's coming round too much and lose time that way as well. Let's see him down the bottom again. Oh no, we've moved over. We're looking, a battle going on. And there's Matej Vrana. Matej Vrana, I think, is putting a pass on someone for putting a driver a lap down. Vrana, of course, in the red suit, says Vrana written on the back of the suit there. He's 8.5 seconds now, maybe more even, because he's yet to cross the line behind Conor Marsh, race leader. He's kind of jumping forward there, more mental end. It's 9.1 seconds he's pulled away. Conor Marsh putting another driver a lap down. Okay, so there's Marsh down the bottom end. And where's Vrana? Yeah, we patched into Vrana again in red. And that, it gives you an idea of what the real gap is. Neither of these drivers have pitted yet, so we don't know what's going to happen in the pits. You know, Vrana, we expect to be very good. Conor Marsh, well, we just don't know what's going to happen there. We do know that he's going to need a 10-second pit stop. However, he's got a lot in hand if things should go wrong, so he'll probably go pretty darn conservative. He has got 9.5 seconds lead over second and a 15-second lead over former world champion Greg Laporte. Now into the pits. We've got someone in the pits. Is that somebody particular for this rating? Well, obviously it is, but I think I'm looking. It's 19. It's 19. It's Parker. Now, Parker pitted out from sort of the middle of the pack there. We'll see where he comes in, because he was part of that big battle going on earlier. Here's Vrana. Will Vrana pit this time? No, Vrana does not. He continues in second. And is he going to go down that magical 10 seconds? Yes, he is. Conor Marsh now has 10 seconds over Matej Vrana. Now, Matej Vrana could find himself, actually, if Conor Marsh was to pit now and then come out, Vrana might not even pass him. That's how serious this lead is. 17, that's Dan Chambers. There's Dan Chambers. He's coming out now. He actually works for the Mercedes Formula One team. So, my goodness me, you'd think that he'd have some of his boys down here helping with strategy, wouldn't he? He actually works for the Mercedes F1 team. I'm not sure what capacity, but he certainly does work for them. There's Dan Chambers there. So Dan Chambers, he resumes in a 7th place. So he's obviously been getting some racing tips from Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. So that's helped him to 7th. Meantime, though, what's going to happen here? We're waiting really for the leaders to pit. We know that Conor Marsh has so much in hand. This could be the slowest pit stop of the whole championship, and he would still win, such as has been his pace on track. This is the least challenged lead that we've seen so far. We've got Conor Marsh leading from Matej Vrana and Greg Laporte in 3rd. The former world champion has moved up the order there from his starting of 5th to put himself in a place of 3rd at the moment. Right, we another pitter there. Yes, we have. Oh, and it is Conor Marsh, the race leader pits. Now, no mistakes. Conor needs to take his time with this. No mistakes. He's trying to force it, but it's okay. Oh, my goodness. I thought he was gone a bit too soon. He was really trying to get out with it. He's trying to max everything out here is Conor Marsh. And he was on the throttle pedal, just really kind of forcing it as much as he could. I think he must have cut a pretty sharp light there. Oh, yes, he did. That's, again, one of the fastest. Just over 10 seconds, really, on that lap, given to what we know counts as a pit stop lap. So Conor Marsh would have been one of the fastest pit stops, and you've got to say to him, he didn't really need to do that. But look at this on screen, we can see he's actually in front of Matej Vrana, and Matej Vrana has not pitted. So we're looking at first and second, the leader having pitted, and the second having not pitted at all. So this is the biggest lead we've seen. I know it looks close, actually, in person. It's only 0.6 of a second on camera. And for those watching here at the track, in the pits there, that's the 21. That's Greg Laporte, the former world champion. Oh, he comes out side by side. Yes, he is fighting position. I think that might be Ben Churchill, who's fighting position for Ben Churchill, fighting with the world champ. Or was it Robin Kassam? I'll double check that. Anyway, there comes the race leader. And into the pits then, I think, is finally Vrana. Yeah, Vrana's coming to the pits. There's not too much time to go. Vrana's got a fairly comfortable second place. Robin Kassam is some way behind him, so I don't think that it's going to be any problem for Vrana to be second in this race. Now, there's Greg Laporte. Greg Laporte has to pit again. What's the problem? I'm not sure. I thought he'd made a pit stop. He's shaking his head. He's getting green lights, though, on the pit stop. Yeah, he's green. But he has tumbled down the order there. I think Greg Laporte had a bit of a problem with his other pit stop. We didn't see it on screen, so missed that one. But I think maybe he had a problem in the pits, and that has necessitated him to take another stop. And would you believe it? He's come out right in front, almost a lap down by Conor Marsh. Yeah, I'll repeat that. Conor Marsh is about to put a former world champion a lap down in a world championship heat, in a British championship heat race. My goodness me. Conor really got the bit between his teeth. This has been a flawless performance by the British driver. He's put himself on pole position. Yeah, that was a shock. That was a surprise. He's good, but that's pole position is pole position, yeah. He's absolutely walked away with the lead. Another shock, because nobody's done it so far, despite the champs we've had out on track already. Greg Laporte's getting a blue light. Conor Marsh actually runs in the back of him. He does make it through, though, but in pulling out, he actually clipped the back of Greg Laporte, and Laporte goes a lap down to race leader Conor Marsh. Conor Marsh waving a very sort of deferential sorry, mate, there, as he came up towards the finish line, and Conor Marsh continues with the lead. No penalties, of course, for Marsh for that. Just one of those things. But yeah, Conor Marsh, so he's qualified on pole. He's absolutely pulled away in the race, made this race his own. It's not that the others have been slow, it's that he's been fast. He's putting more people laps down. He then has set the fastest time. He's comfortably into 31.7 as a best lap time. That is the fastest lap we've seen so far of the tournament. And he's going to win it, and he managed to make it so that he was able to pit and come out in the lead against, of all people, the likes of Matej Vrana, Robin Kassam, Greg Laporte, champions in their own right. So it's an amazing performance by Conor Marsh. This is probably the greatest drive he's ever put in karting. I know he's won other things, but this is something truly special, and he's set himself up as a major contender in this year's championships. He's got the points. He's going to have the confidence. It's all looking very good right now for Conor Marsh. So we're in the sort of dying embers of this race. Conor Marsh just needs to bring it home. It's going to be a clear win for him, unless barring anything truly horrible mechanically happening, which would be truly awful. He's got a 14-second lead, would you believe, over second place, Matej Vrana, the Czech champion, and Robin Kassam is in third place, who's been a semi-finalist here as well. So we're not talking about people who are slow. Ben Churchill, a good showing by him for fourth, and Darren Pearce. Well, I'm sure I've seen Darren Pearce's name running last year in this race earlier on. So coming up to fifth place, that's a nice little sort of turnaround in fortune for him. But there's been no stopping Conor Marsh at all. Here he is heading around onto the final backstretch. Will it be the final time? Probably not yet, but there's not going to be much racing left to go for Conor Marsh or any of the others in this race. In fact, there's only been one driver in this for the win. It's been Conor Marsh absolutely all the way. He's taken the win. A very last second checker flag there, but Conor Marsh takes the win. Now, will Conor feel that's come out a little bit late and he'll just put one lap in just to be certain? Because he's still carrying on at some serious speed. But no, he's happy. He knows he won. He knows that's in the bag for him. And what a result there. Here's your winner on screen coming down the back straight. Still flat out, of course. And he's tapping the wheel. He's swerving around. He's taken the win. What a show there by Conor Marsh. He knows he could do it, I'm sure. But against actual form, you would normally put Conor Marsh, yes, up near the front. But a winner like that, possibly not. What a show by Conor Marsh. And Matej Vrana, of course, if he can't win, obviously second's the best you want, then it was a pretty thorough second place. I don't think we've seen a more clear-cut race than that. Conor Marsh's win was very much a definite win. And Matej Vrana, you know, he's the Czech champion, and we can see why. He's really, really done very well with that second place. That was probably, yeah, it's the most outstanding win we've seen, but it was also the most outstanding second place. In Robin Kassam, a great third place there as well, so a really good performance by him. So what a run there. They're getting out. There's Conor. I mean, gosh, he's going to be just delighted with how this has gone. And, yeah, there everyone's nodding to him now. This is what happened. There's Greg Laporte, one of the first to go up and congratulate him. And everyone's congratulating him there. And that looks like, I think it's that Ed White there saying, well done, mate. And you can see, isn't it true? You once you start winning, heck of a lot more handshakes. Heck of a lot more handshakes. A lot of people... And the respect of his peers in that one. A lot of people very impressed by that win there by Conor Marsh. Yes, he's done well, and yes, we know he's good, but it has to be said that's slightly unexpected, to be fair. Right then, so there's Ed White. We're looking at Ed White there in the orange and blue helmet. And he's very good. Oh, there's Tom Eastwood. We've just gone past, and that looks like another of the Mühlermeisters. That's Mark Mühlermeister. And, you know, these are people who are going to be showing well. That was the new Brkc. That was the new Polish driver we've just gone past there. Other names.